Hello and welcome to San Antonio, Texas, as we are all set for opening day between the Austin College Roos and the Trinity University Tigers. Hello, my name is Cole Isaacson, and we'd like to welcome you to One Trinity Place for a very special day. A holiday for many. No, not Valentine's, silly. It's opening day here on the campus of Trinity University, and we begin with a conference matchup. Unusual to begin with a conference matchup like this, but we do with the expanded SCAC this year, Ozarks and Concordia both entering along with McMurray, as Trinity and Southwestern are set to exit after this season. So we get going. We'll start with the opening day lineup for the Austin College Kangaroos. Not opening day for them. They've already played 3 games. They opened up at home last weekend against the University of Mary Hardin Baylor. They'll start with Isaac Villa at shortstop, Tino Ramirez out in left field, Rayshawn Riley at first base, Desmond Squalls in right field, Ayala Hinojosa doing the DH duties today, Mason Woodhouse at second base, Wilhelm at third, Stigant at catcher, and then Kason in the 9-hole at center field. And on the mound for the Trinity Tigers, making the opening day start, it's Trajan Lee. Came out of the pen very often last year, but gets the opening day nod. Lee looks about ready to go. Isaac Villa entering the batter's box. He'll take a practice swing, touch the plate, and with that, we're about underway from One Trinity Place in San Antonio, opening day on Tiger Network, as we start with ball 1. Trajan Lee making his first start of the year. The 1-0 count, taken high, 2-0. You can hear the energy already coming from the Tigers dugout. They're definitely excited to be back. Pitch on the outside edge, called strike 1. Lee made 10 appearances last year, 5 of them starts, had a 3-0 record, an ERA of 2.45. Now seems to be a regular starter, as he was more of a filler last year, swing and a miss. The ball gets to the backstop, but the count even at 2 apiece. As for Isaac Villa, wearing number 8 today, first year from Wichita Falls, Texas. Played in all 3 games against UMHB. Went 3 for 12. Pitch inside, and it brings the count full. Villa also scored 4 runs with 2 stolen bases, only struck out once the entire series. Now a 3-2 count, first batter of the season for Trajan Lee. Did he go? No. So a good start for Austin College, as Villa is able to reach by way of the walk. Tino Ramirez now steps into the right-hand batter's box. He's in left field today. Ramirez, a senior from Dallas, Texas, so the first year, then the senior in the lineup for Austin College. First strike from Lee. First pitch from Lee is a strike. Ramirez at 5'11" from Dallas, Texas. Played all 3 games last weekend against UMHB. 5 for 13, 2 RBI in the series. Tries to drop down the bunt, but it's tapped foul. As Tinker swats that ball back towards his third base dugout. Brings the count to 0-1. Ramirez, a .333 hitter last season, one of the best averages on the team from last year. Pitch way high, Lazara goes up to get it. Brings the count to 1-2. Ramirez understandably not bunting with 2 strikes. Still has Villa on first. Runner goes, pitch high and inside, throw from Lazara, misses, and it's a stolen base for Isaac Villa. Villa able to get a great jump, kind of an awkward throw for Lazara. up in the inside part of the plate towards the batter. The count now at 2-2. The right-handed Lee versus the right-handed Ramirez. Pitch misses and back-to-back full counts. The last one went the way of Austin College. We'll see how this one goes for Trajan Lee, now working with a runner on second. Able to foul it off against the chest plate of Lazara, so we'll do it again at 3-2. Already a pretty high workload for Trajan Lee. That was his 12th pitch of the inning, still no outs recorded and a runner on second to deal with. Got him, strike three on the outside edge. Ramirez goes down looking, shaking his head on the way to the dugout, and it's the first strikeout of the season for Trajan Lee. Rayshawn Riley, the first baseman, now due up. A left-handed hitter. Riley, the sophomore from Wiley, Texas, hit .345 last season in his first year. Made 38 appearances. Swing and a miss. Took a healthy cut at a fastball from Lee. Led the team in average with .345, did Riley. Went 2 for 10 with 2 RBI and 2 strikeouts in the series against UMHB. Now the 0-1 with 1 out. Bluffs off the backside, and Lee will fake the throw. Villa retreating back to second base. Villa already has 1 stolen base, seeing if he can get 2. Pitch misses outside, and it's 1-1. So Lee trying to find his command. Got a strikeout in the last at-bat against Ramirez. Now trying to work through this one at 1-1. Pitch inside, and he hits him. So a free pass to first base for Rayshawn Riley. And Lee in some early trouble. So Desmond Squalls up, the right-handed hitter, playing in right field today, has an opportunity to put Austin College up on the scoreboard early. Runners on first and second. A walk and a hit by pitch handed out by Lee, a strikeout in the middle. Swing and a miss, another healthy cut. That goes down as strike 1. Desmond Squalls making his second series appearance with the team. The sophomore out of McKinney, Texas, played in all 3 games against the Crusaders last weekend, a .333 average and 2 RBI. Lined sharply off the bat, but foul into the Austin College bullpen. This was an Austin College team that needed an injection of some offense. Their average was .252 last year. That's 7th in the conference and 354th in the nation, and they definitely have some new players, including Squalls, that can make an impact. Lee throws off the backside. John Ramsey, the first-year shortstop, able to collect that throw. Could have been dangerous. So Ramsey wasn't quite behind the second base bag. Squalls in an 0-2 count, 1 down in the inning. Pitch gets very far away and past Lazara. So both runners will advance. 2 in scoring position for the Roos with only 1 out. And more importantly for Austin College, it takes the double play out of order. So it is Villa on third, Rayshawn Riley on second, both advancing by way of what you would assume would be a wild pitch. And what an opportunity for the Roos to get an early lead with their Friday night starter coming into the game soon. Swing and a miss. And that's strike three, a fastball blown right by Desmond Squalls. Much needed for Trajan Lee. Jaden Ayala Hinojosa, the DH coming into this game. The last opportunity for Austin College to get the early lead. There's strike one, a fastball on the outside part of the plate from Lee. Think about how great it would be for the Roos to get the early lead. They were down really at the jump in a few of their games against Mary Hardin Baylor, including 7-0 early in game two. The 0-1, swing and a miss. So Lee in an advantageous pitcher's count, 0-2. Can hear the energy from the Tiger dugout starting to rise just a little bit. Their Friday night starter trying to find a way out of a pickle. The 0-2. Fouled off. Check swing foul on a high fastball. So we'll do it again at 0-2. Ayala Hinojosa, the first year from Fort Worth, Texas, played in all three games against Mary Hardin Baylor, 4 for 11, an RBI and a strikeout in those three outings. Pitch inside. Hinojosa has to get out of the way. Goes down as ball one, but could have been a lot worse. Lee and Lazara in agreement on what to throw. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Gets him with the breaking ball on the inside edge. Trajan Lee in some early trouble, but gets out of the jam as the Trinity Tigers are up to bat next. It's 0-0 on opening night. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Bottom of the first here in San Antonio, still 0-0 between Austin College and Trinity. We'll run through the Tigers' opening day lineup. Leading it off will be the sophomore in left field, Caleb Woodward, followed by Callan Singhana and Nick Jones at first base. Nick Lazara doing the catching, followed by Coney at DH, Lustina at second, Kai Tinker at third, Maddox McDonald in center field, and the first-year John Ramsey at shortstop. And on the mound for the Austin College Kangaroos, it's Tristan Mallory. First pitch from him, in for strike one. Mallory's been starting for the Roos for his last 4 years of his college career, all 4 years of his college career, a senior now. And throwing strikes so far, that's in for strike two. Quickly head 0-2 on Woodward. Mallory made 10 appearances last season, 9 of them starts. Swing and a miss from Woodward, and he goes down on 3 pitches. So a great start from Tristan Mallory. So now Callan Singhania up for the Tigers. Singhania playing in right field today. Has not made an appearance for Trinity in his career. And now hitting second today. First pitch from Mallory misses. Ball one. Mallory last season 2-6, over 50 innings pitched. Strikeout to walk ratio 42-14 as that pitch misses, making it 2-0. The ERA 3.37, very impressive from the senior. In his last outing, last weekend against UMHB, 3 innings, no runs. Fires a strike to Singhania. His outing was cut short because of a weather delay. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt makes it 2-2. So far, Mallory very efficient, able to get Woodward on all 3 pitches. Now the 2-2. Pitch misses away, and now it's 3-2, so a good at-bat from the sophomore Singhania. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blows it by him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mallory. So now another Tiger making his debut with the team. It's Nicholas Jones, the junior transfer from Southlake, Texas. Hitting in the 3 spot today, playing first base. And takes a low strike, a breaking ball of some kind from Mallory. Trying to get a 1-2-3 inning. Swing and a miss, a healthy cut from Jones. And it's 0-2. So it could be a quick inning for Trinity. We'll see. Fouled off into the screen behind Jones as he stays alive. Back-to-back strikeouts swinging for Mallory. Trying to get all 3 in an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. That's good for strike 3, and Tristan Mallory strikes out the side in his first inning in San Antonio. End of the first here in the Alamo City, still 0-0. So we head to the top of the second next on Tiger Network. Welcome back to misty San Antonio. There's some type of precipitation in the air, not enough to impact this game, thankfully. As Trajan Lee back on the mound for his second inning of work. Both pitchers in the first inning able to strike out the side. Doing it in different ways. Tristan Mallory doing it in order, 1-2-3 Lee. Some base runners there in the middle, but able to get the 0 on the scoreboard. First pitch is strike 1 to Mason Woodhouse, who's playing at second base today. Woodhouse, one of the few Austin College Kangaroos not from Texas, from Castle Rock, Colorado. Went 2 for 8 last weekend against UMHB. Lee fires strike 2. Pitch on the outside edge of the plate. Woodhouse, a 4-year starter, Hit 229 last year, but hit 321 his first year, trying to get back to those numbers. Now in an 0-2 hole, swing and a miss. The slider gets Mason Woodhouse, and it's the 4th strikeout of the day for Trajan Lee. So now he'll have to deal with Jack Wilhelm, a sophomore from Katy, Texas. Fouls it off into the screen down the left field line. Wilhelm, 2 games played last weekend. Went 1 for 2 with 2 walks, also had an RBI. His first season starting for the Roos. Takes the ball high, and it's 1-1. 1 down, nobody on for Trajan Lee, who's struck out 4 already, 3 swinging, 1 looking. Swing and a miss. Now 1-2. Mentioned that Lee getting the opening night nod, and he talked about the off-season prep it took to get that position. A lot of distinguished starters coming through Trinity University. Jackson Tier, Joseph Shavana. Pitch inside, close call, and Lee doesn't get it. But he talked about respecting those guys having the position as being the Friday night starter in years past, specifically Shavana these last 2 years. But Lee saying it was time for him to take their place. Pitch in the dirt, a good block by Lazera. Lee recognized the void and knew that it was his turn to fill it. Now here he is on the mound, Friday night starter, now in a 3-2 count. Swing and a foul tip as that ball races back to the backstop. Wilhelm trying to stay alive. And the 3-2. Pitch away, and it's ball 4. The second walk handed out by Trajan Lee. And back-to-back innings with a base runner for Austin College. But Lee talked about the off-season training. As the coaches, Tim Scannell and Dave Smith, definitely put it more of a weight room focus. Lee decided he wanted to buy into that and get the most out of it. Got stronger, was able to throw harder because of it. Now he faces the catcher. Ball inside. Caden Stegent, the sophomore from Cypress, Texas. 12 games played last year, played all 3 games against Mary Hardin Baylor. Lee checks on the runner at first, dives back safely. Stegent hit .243 last year. No hits in the series against Mary Hardin Baylor, looking for his first one of the season. Takes a pitch away, and it's 2-0. Lee trying to find his rhythm. Down 2-0, and now 3-0 as that pitch misses away. Working with a runner on first, and Jack Wilhelm. Still 1 out on the board, a 3-0 count. Checks on him and dives back safely again. No stolen bases last weekend for Wilhelm, and Lee looks like he's trying to avoid him getting his first. Fires a fastball down the chute, strike 1. Stegent settling in. Takes a pitch inside, has to get out of the way of it, and he'll head to first base. So back-to-back walks handed out by Trajan Lee. Brings up the 9 hole, Ashton Cason. Cason, a senior, was a regular starter by the end of his junior year. Didn't start that way, but worked his way more into the lineup. Hit nearly 300, a .297 average as Lee throws the ball into center field, but a little too hard. McDonald able to back it up and prevent anybody from advancing. That could have been really bad. So we saw that earlier. Lee throwing the ball behind him, trying to nab a guy at second. John Ramsey not quite there, and this time it gets by him. Swing and a miss from Kason. And it's 0-1. John Ramsey, the shortstop, playing all the way back to the outfield grass. Kai Tinker much further in at third base. Strike called, and it's 0-2. Lee trying to wiggle out of another jam. That goes fair. Lee throws to first, and not in time. Almost worked like a swinging bunt. As Lazara and Lee not sure who would pick it up, it ended up being Lee. A good throw, just not in time. It'll go down as a base hit, and it loads the bases. And it warrants a meeting from pitching coach Dave Smith. Have a discussion about the traffic that he's allowing, but this gives us an opportunity to talk about the path that Trajan Lee took, even more than we already have. Talked about how Trinity coaches trying to institute more of a weight training-based program. Trajan Lee recognizing it was more for the young players. There's a lot of first years on this Tigers team. We had a lot of graduating seniors last year. So a large freshman class coming in to take their place. So mostly for them, but Lee recognizing that, hey, I can get something out of this as well. Took the opportunity, and now he's throwing a lot harder. Dave Smith saying the command is up and the quality of the changeup is improved. And the velocity definitely up as well. He called the improvement from last season immense. Also noted that Lee has taken over as the team leader. And at least from my perspective, you can definitely see that walking around the practice field. Every now and then you'll see Trajan talking to a younger pitcher, teaching him some pitch grips and how to work on them and get better. Truly cementing himself as the Friday night guy in every way, but now in a bases-loaded jam. Ground ball could be two. Throw to second in time. Throw to first is late. And the run scores. Jack Wilhelm coming in from third and puts Austin College up 1-0. So that was Isaac Villa. He'll get credited with an RBI. As the 4-3 putout puts Austin College up 1-0. Now Tino Ramirez up for the second time. Lines it sharply, but foul over the screen in right field. And onto the roof of Calgard Gym somewhere. Now working with runners at the corners. Down 0-1. 2 outs on the board. 1 run on the board for Austin College. Pitch misses. And it's 1-1. Runner goes. Lazara throws. Not in time. Ball gets away from Ramsey for a second. But the runner at third seems content where he is. That's Steegen. As Villa, his second stolen base of the game already. Waits at second. Runners on second and third for the Roos. 1-2 pitch. High. Ball 2. Last season, Joseph Shavana made a lot of the Friday night starts for this team and got into similar situations. Lots of walks handed out, and Trajan Lee seems to be following in his footsteps in some ways. The one thing with Shavana is he always found a way to get out of those jams. Lee trying to do the same, trying to limit this damage to 1. Misses with that last pitch, finds himself in a 3-2 count. Three-two to Ramirez. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So for the second straight inning, Trajan Lee leaves 2 runners stranded in scoring position, but this time the Roos able to bring one in. It's 1-0 Austin College in San Antonio. We'll head to the bottom of the second up next. Welcome back to San Antonio. Nick Lazera set to lead things off for the Tigers. Lazera doing the catching duties today, as he does so often for this team. A senior from Carlton, Texas. Played and started in 41 games last year. Hit .352 for the Tigers, one of the best marks in the batting average category. He takes ball 1. Lazera found himself hitting 3rd a lot last year, now hitting 4th in the cleanup role. The 1-0 from Mallory. In for strike 1. So we mentioned it a little bit. Tristan Mallory is out and cut short by weather. As that pitch too far inside, it hits Lazera. And the Tigers get their first base runner of the night. In some ways, much needed for Trinity. Mallory struck out the side in the previous inning and made it look pretty easy. But Lazera gets on by way of the hit by pitch. Brings up the junior Cal Coney. Throw back to first, and Lazera standing, wondering what they're doing. They weren't going to get him. I don't even think he had that big of a lead. Coney takes a strike. From Los Angeles, California. Played in 16 games, made 5 starts last year. A 172 average. Check swing, and he takes a ball high. It's 1-1. Coney, one of these guys the Tigers are hoping can step up. The absence of several key performers from last year. Foul back into the screen, and it's 1-2. Think about the absence of guys like Jack Baker and Colt Harris playing in the middle infield last season. Ty Preston, Jack Peterson in the outfield. There's a lot of offensive production on this team that needs to be made up somehow. You're hoping Coney can be one of the guys that does it. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt. That's strike 3. The 4th strikeout for Tristan Mallory today. So he's faced 4 batters so far, or 5 batters, check that. He's gotten 4 outs in those 5 batters, and all 4 have been strikeouts swinging. The 6th hitter, Michael Lustina, will enter the batter's box. Lustina playing at second base today. Takes a fastball for strike one. Lustina did not get a lot of action last year. Only appeared in 4 games, did not take an at-bat, but the year before, a .317 average and 41 at-bats. They check on Lazara again. Gets safely to first, standing up. Going to be tough to run on Mallory tonight. The left-hander. Breaking ball of some kind. Catcher likes the spot, but the umpire doesn't. It's 1-1. Stegent giving a nod of approval to his pitcher on that pitch. Similar pitch. This time lands it for a strike. It's 1-2. Only one hit between the two teams so far, and it was, in effect, a swinging bunt. Couldn't be fielded in time by Trajan Lee. Runner goes in Lazara. That ball lifted high in the air to center field. And the catch is made by Quezon for out number 2. Got to be a tough sky for these outfielders. It's dark. The sun is completely down, so no twilight to deal with, but there is somewhat of a mist in the air right now. It was that way earlier in the game, and it's only intensified. Graduate student third baseman Kai Tinker up now for the Tigers, making his first at-bat of the season. Made 39 starts and 45 appearances. Was an all-SCAC honorable mention in 2024 with a .265 batting average. Finds himself in a 1-0 count, 2 down. Slow pitch of some kind that was high. Mallory finds himself down 2-0 in unfamiliar situations so far in this game. Strike called, 2-1. Lazara was off and running in the last at-bat. Not there. Tinker grounds that one a 3-hopper to short. And scooped at first in time. Villa able to make the play that ends the inning. So the Tigers get their first base runner a hit by pitch, but can't do anything with it. It's still 1-0 Austin College here at opening night. Trajan Lee up for his 3rd inning of work when we come back. Welcome back to the Alamos City, a misty night in San Antonio as we're here for the top of the 3rd inning. Rayshawn Riley will lead things off for the Roos. Hit by pitch in his only other at-bat tonight, but just received a delightful update from Texas State baseball. Jackson Tier, former Trinity Tiger, decided to transfer over there to Division I, and he has 7 strikeouts through 3.2 innings of work. So always good to hear when a former Tiger's doing well at a higher level. We've seen that in a few other instances. Lee fires a strike. It's 1-1. Batir and Shavana leaving. Definitely leaves a gaping hole in starting pitching as this is grounded on several hops to Ramsey. The quick throw in time. First look at John Ramsey at short, the first year, getting the opening day nod. And there's one down. Desmond Squalls now up. Squalls struck out. He's 0 for 1. But got to talk to Lee about his approach this offseason, understanding that he was going to be a starter. That's the role that was set out for him. Fires strike one with the fastball on the outside part of the plate. But with that in mind, they tried to build him up. He was in the pen for the majority of last year, didn't get starts until later in the year. The 0-1 misses away, and now it's 1-1. We talked about that off-season build-up, but even with the build-up and training in mind of being a starter, still not quite there yet, so we'll see what the pitch count is. I asked him what it would be, and he replied that that was definitely more of a question for his pitching coach, Dave Smith. But theorized that he could go maybe about 5 innings. The 2-1 to Squalls is hit in the air to right field, not deep enough. Singhania under it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So that'll go down as an F9 for Squalls. Ayala Hinojosa up, the DH for Austin College, 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first inning. But you got to wonder how far Trajan Lee can go in this game. 2 work-heavy, intensive innings. Fouled off into the screen above the Tiger dugout. Makes it 0-1 to Ayala Hinojosa. That pitch count got to be getting pretty high for Lee at this point. Trying to finish off his 3rd inning of work. Swing and a miss, and it's a quick 0-2. Foul tipped into Lazara's glove. Austin College has had a base runner in every single game and in every single inning. In fact, at least 2, but they won't get one in this inning. It's strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Trajan Lee, and he finishes it with his 5th strikeout of the night. Bottom of the 3rd coming up when we come back. Welcome back. The bottom of the 3rd inning here at One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas. Maddox McDonald leading things off, the center fielder in his 2nd year with the Tigers. Transferred in last year. Now a senior. Takes a pitch from Mallory. That misses away. And it's 1-0. McDonald, the local from San Antonio, Texas. Started in 20 games last year. Takes strike 1. Has a .296 average last year. Began his career at Louisiana Lafayette Division I. As he flares this one to right field. Back at the wall. And it hits the wall. Throw gets away for a second, but not enough for McDonald to advance, and it's the first hit of the night for Trinity. A double off the bat of Maddox McDonald. Tough to read that one in the air, slicing to the right. And just able to hit the wall behind the pole out of my view. He sets up the first-year shortstop, John Ramsey, making his first offensive appearance of the season. Already made a play defensively. Trinity getting their first hit of the night off the lefty Mallory. Ramsey was thinking about bunting, but wisely pulls it back for ball one. Bunting is one thing these Tigers should be pretty good at. They work on it at least once a week for hours. Fielding and hitting. Pulls it back again. A good breaking pitch from Mallory, but it's 2-0. Trinity in a 1-0 hole, but the tying run on second base and Maddox McDonald. Gets the bunt down, and it's a good one down the third base line, but foul. A wise play from Wilhelm at third to let that go foul. As McDonald will have to go back to second base. Ramsey back into the batter's box. A good bunt, but an even better heads-up play defensively. Sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing at all. A high throw from Mallory. Tried to get McDonald napping, able to get back to second base. The throw nearly ended up in center field. Isaac Villa had the jump to catch that one. Now a 2-1 count. Offers at it, and it'll go down as strike two. So now bunting probably out of the question. John Ramsey, the first-year shortstop, getting the nod on opening day because they love his defense. Trying to contribute offensively in a 2-2 count. Good take. Ball high, and it's 3-2. McDonald waiting at second. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled off. Ramsey stays alive. Just got it with the end of his bat as he knocks it into the screen behind him. First runner the Tigers have had in scoring position today. First hit of the day. Only their second base runner. Mallory's done a good job limiting traffic. Takes strike three. And Ramsey knows it. He heads back to the dugout with out number one. The fifth strikeout for Tristan Mallory on the night. The order flips over now. Caleb Woodward, the left fielder, the sophomore. Struck out swinging the last time he was up. He's 0 for 1 today. Takes a strike. Woodward, the sophomore from San Pedro, California, led the team in batting average last season at .365. Made 24 starts. Pitch gets away into the screen, and McDonald has no problem taking third. Rounds third for a second, but thinks better of it, as that would have been unwise from the senior. So this changes the calculus a little bit, you would think, for Woodward. So now a ground ball to first base, or anything hit deep into the outfield would likely score a run. Now in a 1-1 count. McDonald able to advance by way of the wild pitch. The second one in this game total, one by each pitcher. Ball high. Now 2-1. Woodward trying to collect hit number 1 of the year, potentially RBI number 1 of the year. Pitch high, 3-1. But now in a position to get walk number 1 of the year. And a 3-1 hitter's count. We'll see how aggressive Mallory wants to be, whether he gives him something to hit or not. Pitch misses. Looked pretty good from here. Looked pretty good to Stegent as well, but either way, it's ball 4. As Woodward makes the walk over to first base. Runners at the corners. And it's Callan Singhania, the right fielder, up 0 for 1 today with a strikeout, making his Tiger debut. Fascinating story from Singhania. Wasn't even on the team last year, was the student manager, wanted to be around the squad. Throw to first, not in time. Woodward has to dive back. But an off season of improvement, going through that weight training program that the coaches implemented and really stressed, got a lot better, and now he's hitting second on opening day. They try and get Woodward again, and it's not in time. I think that's pretty dangerous at this point with the runner at third. It scores a run if that ball gets away. Woodward does run, swing and a miss from Singhania. Throw in time, McDonald comes home, dives, and he is safe. So a heads-up play from Maddox McDonald, diving in to score the first run of the season for Trinity. It's 1-1. Almost a double steal of sorts. They get him to try and throw Woodward out. Unsuccessful. And then McDonald able to come home. Breaking ball misses to the 3-hole hitter, Nick Jones. I apologize, Singhania still in the batter's box. Grounded softly to short. The throw made in time. And Singhania is out. You have to speculate whether that was a called hit and run by Singhania himself. That's something that I was told by Coach Scannell, that any hit and run you see is called by the players. It's a complete green light offense in that way. Said in practice that they love doing it, they feel comfortable doing it, and anytime you see it, it's a decision that they make, and they have the autonomy to do that. Wonder if Singhania decided that that was the best situation as Nick Jones steps into the batter's box, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Now 2 outs on the board. That pitch misses, 1-0. Caleb Woodward waits on second base. He has a stolen base. Pitch high, 2-0. So the walk from Woodward gets him on second base with a stolen base as well. Singhania, a 6-3 ground out, and now Nick Jones, who takes strike 1. McDonald able to score the game-tying run in this inning. Bring the score at 1-1. He is the only hit of the game for Trinity, a wall ball double. Jones fouls that back into the screen. Brings the count to 2-2. 2 outs on the board. Woodward waiting patiently at second base to see what's going to happen. Foul off again, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Pitch high, 3-2. And you hear the energy from that Tigers dugout coming to life after McDonald dove in safely at home plate. Full count, 2 outs. Lined in the air and curling towards the Bell Center, out of play, foul. We'll do the 3-2 again. 3 foul balls from Nick Jones just in this at-bat. Inside, ball 4, and he turns to his dugout as he heads to first base, fired up. That's probably the most excited I've ever seen anybody for a third inning walk. But Nick Jones got pumped up for that one. And it brings up one of the most dangerous hitters in this Tigers lineup, Nick Lazera, hit by a pitch in the second inning. Coming up for his second at-bat of the season, an opportunity to give Trinity the lead with the speedy Woodward on second. Nick Jones waiting on first. Pitch misses inside, 1-0. Mallory has handed out 2 walks in his last 3 batters. Trying to leave them both stranded. That pitch misses low. Tigers offense coming to life after 2 scoreless innings. Pitch high, 3-0. And you wonder in this situation if a walk just isn't the worst thing in the world, considering the damage Lazera can do if you give him something to hit. Over a .350 hitter last season. And that's exactly their thoughts, I would think. A 4-pitch walk to the dangerous catcher. It loads the bases. So the opportunity for the junior Cal Coney. Struck out in the second inning. And they're going to talk about this one. Justin Lambright, the pitching coach out there, to talk to his ace, his Friday night starter. A stable force of this rotation for really the last 4 years. He's been so good for them. His ERA is progressively lowered each year. It was 5.09 his first year, but he was a freshman, so probably have to excuse that. A 4.37 in his sophomore year, and then a career low 3.73 in his junior season. Didn't allow a run in the first game of his senior season, a 3-inning shutout performance against UMHB. Unfortunately for Austin College, they had to lift him due to a long weather delay. The rest of the game was played the next day. Obviously, he couldn't throw in that one. So far, he's got 2.2 innings of work under his belt, but the bases are loaded with 2 down for Trinity. He's only given up 1 hit, but 3 walks in the last 4 batters. The first pitch to Coney, taken for strike 1, and a good start for Mallory. Since this is a big at-bat in this game. Chance for Trinity to take its first lead of the night. Way inside. Looked like a breaking ball of some kind. Probably a slider, and it's 1-1. That's where he's been missing mostly, the inside part of the plate to righties. Finds the strike zone there, and it's 1-2. A fastball that time. Coney trying to come through with the bases loaded. Line sharply into the screen. Count at 1-2. The junior from Los Angeles, Cal Coney. Lefty versus righty. Line sharply but into the ground and foul. Don't know what the speed was on that baseball, but it was hit very hard, just in the wrong direction. Two down, bases loaded. Pitch way outside, a good play by Stegent, lunging out to get it. He likely saved a run by collecting that baseball. Now 2-2. Hit in the air. Shallow right. Couple of roos over to get it, and they don't. It lands in foul ground. The shortstop check that the second baseman, Mason Woodhouse, was over to get it. That ball taking a turn in an unexpected direction at the last moment, finding foul ground. Coney able to go back to the batter's box now. Unfortunate spot for the Austin College defense, kind of in that Bermuda Triangle area between right field, the short check to the second baseman and the first baseman. Check swing inside, 3-2. And that noise you hear once again is the Trinity dugout. Loud as they've been all night. Fouled off, we'll do it again. Coney just able to get a piece of that. Pitch looked like it was high. Coney able to get part of his bat on it. So we'll do this full count pitch again. Mallory's had a lot of work to do this inning, trying to finish it. He does! Strike three looking, leaves the bases loaded. Tristan Mallory able to battle back and keep this game tied, but Trinity able to knock in a run. It's Maddox McDonald. He scores the run that ties the game. It's 1-1 as we head to the fourth in San Antonio. Welcome back to hazy San Antonio, Texas. The mist has only gotten thicker. Game time temperature was 51 degrees according to my phone and the weather app. It's dropped to 50 degrees. I don't really buy into that theory. It feels colder. I can see my breath pretty clearly now. But we will play on. Trajan Lee out for his fourth inning of work. Fires strike one. Swing and a miss from Woodhouse, second baseman. Woodhouse 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the second inning. He'll lead off the fourth inning for Austin College, now finding themselves in a 1-1 game. Healthy cut, but fouled back, got it off the end of the bat. The 0-2 pitch from Lee. Misses away, and it's 1-2. Oh, the Trinity Tiger faithful, not concerned with the weather. The blankets, the umbrellas, the hoodies, they're all out in full force, as it looks like a pretty packed seating area behind home plate. Pitch away, and it's 2-2. Gets him, strike three, a fastball down the chute. Another strikeout for Trajan Lee, this one looking one down in the inning. So Trajan Lee's handed out a couple of walks, 3 to be specific, but 7 strikeouts to make up for it. So now he has to deal with the third baseman, Jack Wilhelm. Sort of a golf swing, fouls that above the Tiger dugout. Had to go down and get that pitch. His bat was almost vertical, straight up and down by the time he hit it. The 0-1. Just misses. Looked like a good spot from here. The ump disagrees. It's 1-1. Wilhelm walked in his only other at-bat. That was in the second inning. Looping liner into the parking lot, and hopefully, for everybody's sake, that missed cars, because that can be an issue here. Both if somebody hits a home run into right field, there's a parking lot over there, and then a looping foul ball like that one can end up in the parking lot behind the Tiger bullpen. This is softly grounded to short. A barehanded play, can't make it. So Ramsey knew his only hope was to just grab it and throw it. Couldn't quite secure it with the bare hand. It'll go down as a base hit for Wilhelm. Only the second hit of the day allowed by Trajan Lee in his fourth inning. Now Caden Stegent, the catcher, walked in his last plate appearance in the second. Takes ball one. Runner on first, one out. Softly grounded on a hop to Ramsey. Throws to second, on to first, not in time, but they get the lead runner. The throw from Lustina, just not quite in time. It would have been a tough double play to make. They do get one. Goes down as a 6-4 force out for Stegent, and now he waits on first base. The 9-hole hitter, Kason, playing center field today. Lee checks on the runner to no avail. Kason with one of only 2 hits for Austin College, a swinging bunt in the second. Ended up leading to their only run of the game. It was Kason who got on and extended that inning, and then Isaac Villa getting credit for the RBI on the 4-3 ground out. I'll check on Stegent again, able to get back in time. Line sharply into the screen above the Austin College dugout, and it's 0-2. Stegent does have 2 stolen bases on his record from last season, none last weekend. Pitch misses high, 1-2 to Kason. Ashton Kason, senior from Plano, Texas. Total of 6 RBI last season for him. This one is lifted deep to right field, back towards the wall and the warning track, and the catch is made to end the inning. Singhania didn't have much room back there, but made it work as Lee finds a scoreless inning. It's still tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Trinity up to bat next. Welcome back. Tristan Mallory back on the mound for his fourth inning of work. He's only given up 1 run through 3 so far. Left the bases loaded in the previous inning. It was Woodward, Jones, and Lazara all left stranded with 2 down in the frame. Galconia unable to get the hit with 2 outs, struck out. And a big moment for Austin College in this game, keeping it tied at 1. Now Mallory has Michael Lustina to deal with. Takes ball 1. Lustina playing second base today. 0 for 1 with a fly out to center in his only at bat. Good take by Lustina. It's 2-0. Thought about it, but doesn't offer. Takes a ball high, so 2 balls low and 1 high for Mallory. The Austin College ace finds himself in a 3-0 hole. Fires strike 1. You would assume a red light situation from Lustina. The 3-1. Fires a strike. Mallory picking up the pace in his delivery. Not a lot of time between pitches. Battles back and makes it 3-2. And ball 4. Misses inside. Stegent didn't agree. Looks back at the umpire, but to no avail. Lustina on board for the first time today with a no-out walk. We'll bring up Kai Tinker. The graduate student grounded out to short in his only at-bat. He's 0 for 1. Pitch gets away for a second. Lustina thought about it, but sidesteps his way back to first base. Stegent has done a good job behind the dish so far, particularly that one play with a runner on third, lunging across his body to make that catch. In all likelihood, prevented a run. This ball is driven to deep left field, back towards the wall, and it falls in front of it. Tinker hustling for third, runner coming in to score, does so standing up. And it's an RBI triple for Kai Tinker. He unloaded on that baseball, and he gets his first RBI of the season. 2-1 Trinity. Both Lustina and Kai Tinker hustling around the bases. Lustina gets credit for the run. Tinker, the RBI triple. That looked like it could go over the fence for a second. Just died short of the wall. Tinker was thinking 3 all the way. Did not stop or hesitate at second base. Represents the second Tigers hit of the night, and the only other Tiger with a hit, Maddox McDonald in the batter's box. Healthy cut at that. Swings through it, and it's 1-1. Still nobody out. Tinker waits on third. McDonald takes a strike. It's 1-2. Fouled off. McDonald stays alive. Still nobody out in this inning. Trinity taking their first lead of the season. It's 2-1 off the Kai Tinker triple. Pitch high. And it's 2-2. This is driven to deep center field. Back is Kason. He makes the catch. Tinker tagging. And the run scores off the sacrifice fly. It's 3-1. Trinity goes down as an RBI for Maddox McDonald. So it does go down as 1 out. Sacrifice fly from McDonald. And that'll be the day for Mallory. So the Austin College ace, only going 3 innings, surrenders 2 runs in the frame. That'll be his night as Sean Counts comes out to pull the plug. New pitcher in for the Roos when we come back. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. A new pitcher for the Roos. It's the junior from Louisville, Texas, Trevor Bain. Bain, the transfer from Dallas College Brookhaven, settles in to face the 9-hole hitter for Trinity, John Ramsey. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second. Bain starts with strike 1 to Ramsey. With Dallas College Brookhaven last season, a 3.27 ERA in 8 appearances. Pitch high. That was a pretty easy take for John Ramsey there. Knew that wasn't going to be a strike. Last weekend for Bain, 2.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 runs, but only 3 of them earned. Ramsey cuts at that and misses 1-2. So the Tigers able to chase Tristan Mallory from the game. Pitch away from Bain, and it's 2-1. The final line on Mallory, it's 3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs allowed. Fouled off by Ramsey off the end of the bat. It skips to the backstop, and it's 2-2. Well, plenty of strikeouts from Mallory. 6 in total, but the walks turned out to be the problem. They sort of got him at the end. Didn't allow a walk until the 3rd inning, but ended up allowing 4 in total. Swing and a miss as Ramsey waves at that breaking ball. Lands low and outside. First strikeout of the day for Trevor Bain, and there's 2 down in the inning. Caleb Woodward, the leadoff man, up for his 3rd at-bat. Takes a strike. Woodward 0 for 1 with a strikeout, also has a walk. Did not come around to score. Pitch misses, but Seagent approves of the location. Asking about the call. Got to wonder about that dynamic between umpire and catcher sometimes. trying to have a good relationship with the guy calling the balls and strikes. Pitch misses low and in. Looks like Stegens likes some of the locations tonight, but the umpire has disagreed. Same routinely asking, is it high? Was it in? Was it low? Having those conversations throughout the game. The 2-1, check swing foul, and it's 2-2. The mist intensifying. I'm perched on the Bell Center roof, kind of behind home plate to the right a little bit. And it's a little hard for me to see the center fielder at this point. Pitch misses away, 3-2. Good at bat from Woodward. Two down. That's ball 4. Fastball misses inside. 2 walks from Caleb Woodward. So now Callan Singhania. 0 for 2. A strikeout and a ground out so far. The sophomore from Dallas, Texas. Working with Woodward on first base, though if trends continue, you wouldn't expect him to stay there very long. Looks like Bain agrees, and will be checking on him frequently, you would expect, during this at-bat. Woodward bluffs going. Swing and a miss from Singhania. 0-1. Woodward does go. Pitch is low. The throw is high, and it's into center field. Woodward gets up. He's headed for third. Gets there diving. The throw in again gets away, but not enough for Woodward to go all the way around. Ends up being a stolen base and then an error that gets Woodward to third base. So some more stakes in this at-bat for Singhania then. Still down 0-2. 2 outs as the E has flashed on the scoreboard. The first error for either team in this game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Bain able to get the 2 outs he needed to get out of this inning. Both of them strikeout swinging. It's still 3-1 Trinity. We'll head to the 5th when we come back on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Top of the 5th inning. Trajan Lee still out there. So I was speculating earlier in the game with the high traffic innings, with innings 1 and inning 2, how long Trajan Lee could go. This being his first start in quite some time, his first full year as a starter. But here he is in the 5th inning. First pitch misses, ball 1. Some protests from the Trinity dugout about that call. Either way, 1-0. Lined at the top of the screen, finds its way to the Bell Center roof. Hit perfectly on the top of the netting that goes behind home plate. Able to find its way over. Caden Stegent up for Austin College. Check that. That's Isaac Villa, who swings and misses at that pitch, making it 1-2. That scared me for a second. I thought my scoring was off because I thought I saw number 9, but it is number 8. I did score it correctly. Villa leading off this inning. The top of the 5th finds himself in a 1-2 count against Lee. Takes a pitch away, 1-2. We'll see how Lee responds here in the 5th inning. This is 3rd time through the order. We see the numbers in the major leagues, really at all levels of baseball. Pitching statistics can take a hit your 3rd lap through. Check swing, foul. You wonder if it got Villa on the hands, taking a second. Little stretch. As he slowly works his way back to the batter's box. The 2-2. Hit in the air and foul. A 5-hopper on the roof of the Bell Center. Villa now in a 2-2 count. 0 for 1, grounded out in the 3rd. Also walked in the 1st inning. Pitch away and 3-2. So Villa may be in position to get his 2nd walk of the game. Command was an issue early for Trajan Lee. A walk, a hit by pitch. And here's another walk handed out to Villa. So a good start for Austin College in the top of the 5th. A base runner with nobody out. So now Lee has to deal with Ramirez, the left fielder. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Pitch away from Lee. Villa does have a stolen base, but he'll have to wait to see if he gets that opportunity. Dave Smith coming out, and we'll see if this is the day for Trajan Lee or if this is just a chat. There is somebody up in the Tiger pen. And Lee not getting the hook quite yet. They're going to give him an opportunity. Trajan Lee working so hard to get this opportunity. Has also emerged as a team leader. In fact, one of his teammates called him Trajan Leader. Just showing how well respected he is in that dugout. Taking the ball on opening night for his team. Himself in a 1-0 count to Tino Ramirez, the senior from Dallas, Texas. One of the most dangerous hitters in this lineup. Checks on the runner at first. Villa dives back safely. Nick Jones so far has done a good job securing any throw to first. I'm sure every Division III baseball team deals with those types of errors. Throw to first, gets away. Free base handed out. Hasn't happened so far. Swing and a miss. Couldn't tell from here whether that hit Nick Lazare or the home plate umpire. Either way, everybody seems to be okay. Brings the count to 1-1. Runner goes, bunt gets down. It's a good one to Tinker. Makes the throw in time. And the sacrifice is complete. Sacrifice bunt goes down as out number 1. Isaac Villa was off and running. He's at second base right now. Good play by Kai Tinker to at least get one. It was a good bunt down the third base line by Tino Ramirez. Now it sets up Rayshawn Riley. 0 for 1, grounded out to short in his last at-bat. Hit by pitch in the first inning. Lee trying to hang on to the lead he was given. Throw off the backside. Tag. Close, but not in time. It was a diving Michael Lustina trying to apply the tag. That was the closest one we'd seen yet, but Villa clearly safe at second, and that's where he will remain. Fouled off into the screen, and it's 0-1. Rayshawn Riley, probably the best hitter for Austin College, at least he was last season, a .345 average. Trying to come through with his first hit of the series as he blasts that one to center field. McDonald is there, not quite to the warning track. He makes the catch. Runner tags from second via in sliding. Is Villa able to advance on the deep fly ball to center field? Now 2 outs for the cleanup hitter, Desmond Squalls. Squalls 0 for 2, flew out to center. He also struck out in the first inning. Pitch away, 1-0. Trajan Lee had some control problems early, a walk and hit by pitch, and 2 of his first 3 batters faced. Would also hand out 2 more walks in the second inning, but since then it's been pretty good. This is lined into the hole on the third base side. Squalls gets an RBI single, and it's 3-2. Austin College gets a run back. So Squall is able to find the hole between John Ramsey, the shortstop, and Kai Tinker, the third baseman. An RBI single with 2 outs. Lee fires strike 1 to the DH, Ayala Hinojosa. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt, and it's 0-2 quickly. Squalls gets credit for the RBI. Isaac Villa getting credit for the run, now 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tack on another one for Trajan Lee, but he's frustrated, giving up the second run of the game. And you wonder if that will be his day. If so, a good one. Only 2 runs allowed through 5. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, Trinity still with the 3-2 lead, but Austin College getting one back. Welcome back to the bottom of the 5th inning here on the campus of Trinity University. Trinity with a 3-2 lead. Pitcher for Austin College is still Trevor Bain. Got the final 2 outs of the previous frame. Now working to begin with this one, as there is a very loud car driving by. Well, you can still hear him as he goes to the other side of the football field. Added background noise for this opening day matchup in conference between Austin College and Trinity. Ball taken away. Nick Jones, in his 3rd plate appearance of the night, 0 for 1, has a walk. Struck out in his other time up to bat. Pitch taken away, and it's 3-0 to the 3-hole hitter and first baseman. Making his Trinity Tiger debut, the transfer student, a junior, takes a strike, upper edge of the zone. Bain, the righty, taking over for Tristan Mallory, who went 3.1 innings, 6 strikeouts, 5 walks handed out, swing and a miss from Nick Jones, brings the count full, 3-2. Trinity with a 3-2 lead. The hits are even at 3 apiece. Austin College has 1 error to Trinity not committing one. Ball away, and it's ball 4. So another walk handed out by Austin College pitching, as walks plenty on both sides. Trajan Lee handing out his fair share through 5 innings, and Mallory and Bain teaming up for their fair share as well. Nick Lazera now comes up with nobody out and a runner on first. 2 plate appearances. He has reached both times, hit by pitch, and then the less painful walk. Quick throw to first. Nick Jones able to dive back. That was a quick turn from Trevor Bain. You see sometimes just these lazy throws that go to first base. They really have no chance of getting the batter out, but getting the runner out, excuse me. Jones heads for second. Throw not in time. That was a very, very slow steal of second. If you were to time that, I don't think it would hold up in most other situations. Austin College late to recognize it. The throw offline from Trevor Bain. And a runner in scoring position with nobody out, and Nick Lazera up at the plate. Ball high, 1-0. Nick Jones almost caught the Roos napping a little bit there. He was more than halfway to second base by the time anybody even called him out. And the first baseman thieves second. That's where he waits as Lazera drives this one into the gap in right field. Jones touches third. He's headed home. Lazera charging in for second. Slides in safely. It's an RBI double. And just as quickly as Trinity gives up the run in the previous frame, they get it back in this one. So mark that as the first hit and the first RBI for Nick Lazera, a double. 4th hit of the day for Trinity brings the score to 4-2. They have the lead over Austin College. Calcone hitting 5th today as a designated hitter. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. One of them with the bases loaded. Now has Nick Lazera on second. Takes strike 1. But this is a situation I got to talk to Austin College coach Sean Counts about. Was the reality is the Roos have played the Tigers close at times. Trinity's overall record against Austin College is 50-4, 37 consecutive wins for the Tigers, as that's sharply fouled onto the roof of the Bell Center. But the reality is, in these last 2 series, they've had some close games. Trinity winning 5-4 in the 3rd game of this series 2 years ago here in San Antonio. That's the last time the Roos came here. And last year, 2 of those 3 games were within 3 runs, saved situations at the end. Pitch high above Lazara's head. Had to duck out of the way of that one, and it's 1-2. So the reality is Austin College has been in these games. I asked Coach Couts about that, and he said he doesn't take much away from it because they're not playing the Tigers, they're playing the ball. Said when the Roos beat themselves, the Roos lose. And when the Roos do not beat themselves, good things happen. Coney takes that pitch away, brings the count even at 2-2. Still nobody out. Lazara has his lead at second. He drove in the 4th run of the game for Trinity to make it 4-2. Thought about it. Lazara goes to third. I don't know if it's in time, and he's not. Lazara tagged out trying to steal third. And the base runner with no outs erased. Lazara being aggressive, trying to take third base, and you could tell that that throw was online and in time, a good one. Now Coney works in a 3-2 count with 1 out, nobody on. And he takes strike 3 looking, the dreaded hat trick for Cal Coney. 3 strikeouts. And what looked like a promising inning that had already yielded a run. All of a sudden, 2 down, nobody on. Not a double play, but if you're the Tigers, I think it feels pretty similar. Brings up Michael Lustina. Lustina 0 for 1. Flew out to center. He's also walked in this game. Swings at that. Able to foul it off. It's 0-1. So an unusual sequence with Lazara trying to take third base. Lazara has some stolen bases on his resume from last season, but only 1. Pitch gets away for a second, but nobody on to take advantage of it. Brings the count to 1-1. What a throw from Caden Stegent to nab Lazara at third. A perfect throw it had to be. He had a decent jump. And then Wilhelm able to apply the tag. That's out number 1. And then Coney strikes out number 2. Lustina now in a very different situation than he could have been. Took a ball high there to make it 2-1. Pitch away, 3-1. Bain trying to collect himself. Has handed out a walk in this inning. It resulted in a run as Nick Jones came home to score off the Lazara double. The 3-1 finds the zone. Lustina thought it was ball 4, nods his head. Understanding he's in a full count now with 2 down in the inning. The 3-2. Fouled off into the screen, and we'll do it again. So Bain, he's given up the run, but other than that, he's done a pretty good job in relief. Trying to collect his 5th out of the night. Worked over 2 innings in his relief appearance against Mary Hardin Baylor. We'll see if he's on pace to do the same with the short start from Mallory. Pitch inside and an easy ball 4. Looked like it hit him, but it's the same result either way. Lustina will head to first. So Kai Tinker will get to hit in the 5th. The last time he was up was in the bottom of the 4th. An RBI triple for the third baseman. Despite the fog that might shield someone's view from the outfield, Tinker understood he got a charge out of that baseball and did not hesitate to round second. He was thinking 3 all the way, and it worked out. He was safe by a decent margin, too. Takes ball 1, a fastball away. Lustina waiting on first, and now he'll run, but has to scamper back to first. Tag not in time. Looked very similar to the Nick Jones stolen base. Maybe just mistimed when Bain was going to deliver the ball. Either way, Lustina able to reverse course, dive back to first base, prevent the inning from ending on that play. Now the 1-0 to Tinker misses, and it's 2-0. Can hear the Trinity bell tower in the distance. 8:45 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. Lustina runs, but he'll have to go back. Tinker fouls that onto the bell center. This one was a 4-hopper, if anyone was curious. Finds himself in a 2-1 count. Trying to extend this inning for Trinity. Bain throws back to first. Lustina very alert and dives back in time safely. When Bain throws to first, he's made it very clear that he is doing it with the intention to get somebody out. He is not in it for the mental reset like other pitchers sometimes. Pitch high and inside, 3-1. So Bain trying to find a way to get this inning to end. Faced 4 batters this inning. 3 of them have reached in some capacity. It was a walk, a double, and a hit by pitch. He's also gotten a strikeout and Lazera caught stealing. Those are the 2 outs of this frame. Lustina does run. And it's ball 4, so he was able to get to second anyways. A walk for Kai Tinker. And it extends the inning where 4 out of 5 Tigers have reached. Maddox McDonald now up. As it looks like that is Coach Sean Counts making his way out from the Austin College dugout. And we'll see if this means there will be a pitching change. Very slow walk, maybe trying to buy time for somebody in the pen. There is some action out there. And some fist bumps. Bain not going anywhere, though, and it looks like he'll get the opportunity to finish out this inning. It looked like that was Sean Counts. I apologize if it was Justin Lambright, the pitching coach, just making a visit. Either way, it's Bain who remains in the game, facing Maddox McDonald. McDonald 1 for 1 with a double, also has a sacrifice fly. Pitch misses. And it looks like they may have called a balk. Looked like he gave the hit by pitch signal for a second, but it didn't look like McDonald got plunked, and McDonald made no effort to get to first base, puts out his hands, and both runners advancing, so that suggests it's a balk. Now runners on second and third. Real opportunity for McDonald to extend the lead. Big swing and a miss. We've seen a few of those out of Maddox McDonald today. 1-1 is the count. A run and an RBI already for McDonald. He had the first hit of the game for Trinity. A double into right field, got the party started. 3 hits since then, a total of 4 on the night for the Tigers. Pitch high, 2-1 is Bain trying to fight to end this inning, keep the deficit where it is. This game within reach for Austin College. There's action in the Trinity bullpen. You would assume they're going there soon. We'll see if Lee has another inning in him. We'll see who comes back out for the Tigers on the mound. Bain steps off, collects himself, and he's ready to go again. A 2-1 count. The center fielder, Maddox McDonald, in waiting with 2 in scoring position. Strike on the inside part of the plate. It's 2-2. A good pitch from Bain. If Austin College is going to win, these are the moments where they're going to have to come up big. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs. There's Tristan Mallory, who got a strikeout with the bases loaded earlier. We'll see what Bain can do, and he gets McDonald. Swing and a miss from Maddox McDonald as Bain gets out of the inning with no further damage. We'll head to the top of the 6th in San Antonio when we come back. Still 4-2, Trinity has the lead over Austin College. Welcome back to the Alamo City. The mist rolls on, and so do we into the 6th inning. It's a new arm for the Trinity Tigers, as Ryland Rangel replaces Trajan Lee. First pitch, gets a ground ball, fields his position, throw to first in time, and a good start for the first year. So Rangel making his Tiger debut. The first year, the local from San Antonio, Texas, went to Reagan High School. When I asked pitching coach Dave Smith about guys they'll turn to, it's such a new team. I didn't personally know any of the guys that were coming in, and neither did these coaches when camp began, but Ryland Rangel, quickly somebody who emerged as a guy that they would turn to in tight games, and here he is. Trinity with a 2-run lead. As Rangel faces Woodhouse. Mason Woodhouse fouls that off, and it's 1-1. Check that Wilhelm. That's Jack Wilhelm. Woodhouse grounding out to Rangel, the 1-3 on the putout. Pitch inside, nearly got Wilhelm, the third baseman. Wilhelm is 1 for 1. A single the last time he was up, and has also had a walk. Pitch misses away, and it's 3-1. and that's ball 4. So Rangel missing high allows his first base runner of his Tigers career. 1 on for Austin College with 1 down in the inning. Catcher Caden Stegent up for Austin College, the sophomore from Cypress, Texas. 0 for 1, grounded out to short. It ended up being a force out and then a walk in the second inning. Working with Wilhelm on first base. Breaking ball lands for strike 1. It's 1-1. Swing and a miss. Sharp break on that slider. Gets him to swing. It's 1-2. Stegent has his work cut out for him. And Dave Smith had glowing things to say about this first year. Said he wasn't afraid of the moment. Has that type of personality where he's going to live up to big moments in big games. Pitch is fouled off. It'll remain 1-2. Also noted that Rangel was a middle infielder at Reagan High School and said he was very reluctant to just become a pitcher. He wanted to continue to work on his craft, playing middle infield, hitting, but just coming out of the pen. The 1-2. Breaking ball again, not breaking enough. Pitch misses high, it's 2-2. Is Rangel a part of a very large class of freshmen? I did the numbers, and when you factor in transfers as well, of the 61 players on this roster, breaking ball misses away, 3-2. Of the 61 players on this roster, 31 of them are new. Only 30 returners from last season. This is a completely new Tigers team in a lot of ways. Rangel a part of that coming out of the pen. 3-2 count, runner on first, 1 down in the inning. Pitch away. Stegent not chasing. And back-to-back walks handed out by Rangel. Now Ashton Kaysen, the 9-hole hitter up. 1 of 2. He has a base hit and a fly out to right. Back-to-back walks handed out by Rangel. First pitch misses in. Lazara putting his hand up and down, telling his first-year pitcher to calm down, and now he's going to go out and talk to him. A quick pitcher-to-catcher meeting. Pitching coach Dave Smith not coming out to be a part of this. Lazara, the veteran, the senior catcher. A good asset to have when you have a lot of young relievers. Rangel just the first of a long line of them that we're going to see on Trinity campus over the course of the year. Meeting adjourned as Lazara will head back behind the plate. Rangel still in a 1-0 hole. His back-to-back walks on first and second, Wilhelm and Stegent respectively. Slider finds the zone, a good one. A lot of sharp break to it, bends its way back in. Now 1-1. Rangel checks on the runner. Wilhelm sidesteps his way back to second base. The delivery, thought about it, but thinks better of it. Slider just missing the zone. A lot of sliders from Rangel so far as Dave Smith's going to come out and he's going to make a change. That'll be the day for Ryan Rangel, getting pulled mid-at-bat. And a 2-1 count to Ashton Kaysen. That'll be Rangel's day. A pitching change in San Antonio, the third arm to come in for the Tigers. Welcome back. New pitcher in the game for the Trinity Tigers. It's the sophomore from Austin College, Brandon Morio. Morio, the lefty, made 5 appearances last season. The ERA over 17. That was in his first year. Had multiple people tell me how much better he's gotten this year. We'll get the first chance to see it. Comes in a situation where the tying run is already on base. Fires strike one. It's a slider that finds the zone. Remember, this is mid at bat. So that strike brings the count to 2-2. Runners on first and second. They represent the tying run for Austin College. This is lined, but foul. About a 5-hopper off the bat of Kaysen. Just ahead of the pitch from Morio. Still 2-2, 1 down in the inning. Top of the 6th here in San Antonio. A 4-2 Tiger lead. Pitch misses high. And it's 3-2. So a walk here would be the 3rd consecutive handed out by Trinity pitching between Morio and Rangel. And it would load the bases. Swing and a miss. The breaking ball gets Kaysen to chase. And it's the 2nd out of the inning. So Brandon Morio able to come in mid at bat and get the strikeout. The lineup will flip over. Isaac Villa up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second, but he's reached twice. 2 walks. Morio steps off, the sophomore, making his first appearance of the season in relief of Rylan Rangel, and previously before that, Trajan Lee. Swing and a miss. Great breaking ball from Brandon Morio, 0-1. The final line on Trajan Lee, 5 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 4 walks, only 2 earned runs, and would be in position to get the win if Trinity can hang on to this lead. Morio stepping off again. And they call a time violation on the sophomore. So that brings the count to 1-1. Morio taking too long to deliver the baseball. So we're all ready to go. 1-1 count. Pitch just misses. Any from the Tiger dugout not liking that call brings the count to 2-1. Close pitch as Morio tried to nibble. Misses away. So now 3-1. Morio trying to avoid walking the bases loaded. Villa trying to get his 3rd walk. Sharply fouled towards the Austin College dugout. It'll remain 3-1. Wilhelm on second, Stegen on first. He represents the tying run in the 6th. Lined but foul. Some good contact from Isaac Villa there. Just behind that pitch, still 3-2, back-to-back foul balls as Villa battling in this at-bat. Morio trying to finish the inning. Lifted in the air to right field. Seeing Hanya is under it, and he makes the catch. Brandon Morio cleans up the mess and gets out of the jam. Trinity still clinging to their 4-2 lead. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th next on Tiger Network. Welcome back. A new pitcher for Austin College, the third arm that they've used. It's Jonas Caballos, the junior from McKinney, Texas, right-hander. He comes in at the height of 6'4". First pitch, fouled off by the 9-hole hitter, John Ramsey. Ramsey 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Fouls that off, and it's 0-2. Jonas Caballos delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 3 strikeouts for John Ramsey. The first one for Caballos, 1 down in the inning. The numbers on the junior from McKinney, Texas. .2 innings pitched last weekend against UMHB. 1 hit allowed. Last season an ERA nearly 7, 6.97. Fouled off by the leadoff man, Caleb Woodward. Over 50 innings pitched. He was a starter last year. He's been moved back to the pen. 10 appearances, 10 starts for Caballos. Faces Caleb Woodward, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's walked the last 2 times he's been up. Takes a healthy swing at that, but fouls it off. It's 0-2. Pitch misses low. A good take from Woodward. Brings the count to 2-2. Woodward lined, but hooking into the Austin College bullpen. Check that, the Trinity bullpen, and that's where it will reside. Woodward lifts that into left field. Ramirez is there. Tino Ramirez makes the catch. 2 down in the inning. The first time the ball has come his way all night. And it is a quick 1-2 for Caballos, who's come out and thrown the ball pretty well. Now he faces Callan Singhana. 0 for 3. He's struck out twice. Singhana making his Trinity debut, playing in right field as this is popped up sky high into the misty air. Under it is Woodhouse, and he makes the catch in the outfield grass without problem. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Caballos doing a good job holding this deficit. Still 4-2 Trinity. As we head to the top of the 7th in San Antonio, it's getting late in Texas. Welcome back to South Texas, specifically San Antonio, the Alamo City. Brandon Morio back on the mound for the Trinity Tigers. He'll face left fielder Tino Ramirez. Ramirez 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, also has a sacrifice bunt on the night. Those of you just joining us, I'm Cole Isaacson, and I'll be serving as your broadcaster and weatherman today. Morio fires strike 1, a fastball. Very, very misty out tonight, as it has only gotten worse. My papers are pretty soaked at this point, so writing may prove more difficult on my end. Swing and a miss from Ramirez. The weather app claims the temperature has only dropped from 51 degrees at first pitch to a cool 49 now, but I call its bluff. It's colder than that. I'm here. The people who made the app are not. 0-2 pitch from Morio misses outside, and it's 1-2. For those of you who don't regularly tune into these broadcasts and haven't in the past, Brandon Morio is the twin of James Morio, who is also on the team. Pitch away, 2-2. Both of them came here together as first years, and they look identical twins. When you walk around at practice, you have no idea which is which. Swing and a miss. Ramirez strikes out for the third time today. The first K for Brandon Morio. Check that, the second K on the night for Brandon Morio. But I have no idea which is which. The best determination is whichever one that I guess when I walked up to one of them, it's the other one. That's usually the best way you can tell. If I think it's James, it's Brandon. And it always seems to work out that way. In theory, I have a 50-50 shot. That is not proven to be the case at all. I feel like I have a 0% chance, maybe 5. I would give myself 5. As Rayshawn Riley enters the batter's box, the lefty. Lefty-lefty matchup. Morio misses, ball 1. Already 1 down in the 7th inning. Trinity trying to cobble together these final 3 frames. Hang on to this 2-run lead on opening night. Pitch misses inside, 2-0. Morio now a full inning pitched if you factor in the 2 outs he got in the previous inning and the one he just got. This is lined up the middle. Ramsey makes the diving play. The throw in time. Well, we talked about how Coach Scannell liked the defense out of the first year, John Ramsey, and there it is, a sliding play on his side of second base. The throw from the ground in time, and there's 2 away. Now the cleanup hitter, Desmond Squalls up. A single the last time he was up. It netted a run. The second one Austin College got. He takes strike 1 from Morio. Ground ball, is it fair? They say no. Squalls tapped that ball pretty much right at his feet. They say it landed in foul territory or hit something, maybe himself, before it ended up fair. Lazaro was out to play it just in case, but we'll do it again at 0-2. Ground ball, Ramsey, an easier play this time. Step, throw, gets away. So he makes the difficult one, but the throw offline to Nick Jones, not able to stay on the bag and get the ball at the same time. And the E is flashed up, so an error on John Ramsey. Errors are now 1 apiece between Austin College and Trinity. And it brings up the DH, Ala Hinojosa. Check that, a pinch hitter, Asher Thompson in the game, the senior from Dallas, Texas. Left-handed hitter, so going with the lefty-lefty matchup. Thompson takes strike 1 from Morio. Hinojosa was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Takes the ball 1-1. Asher Thompson, 33 games played last year, over 100 at-bats, a .265 average. Pitch in the dirt, but Lazara able to collect it before Squalls could move to second. Thompson had a 3-hit game versus Schreiner in March of last year. That was probably his best game of the year. 1 game played against UMHB, went 2 for 3 with 3 RBI, not in the starting lineup today as Morio checks on the runner at first. But works his way in at the DH position. Ball high, 3-1. And with 2 outs, Morio trying to finish the job, but this inning in danger of continuing. First and E6, allowing Squalls to reach. Strike thrown by Morio. Brings it to 3-2. Tying run at the plate in the top of the 7th. Tigers have the 4-2 lead. Ball 4, pitch misses low. And the tying run is aboard. Thompson able to work the walk. There is some action in the Trinity bullpen. Reinforcements getting ready, but it's Morio's mound for now. He'll have to deal with Mason Woodhouse, the second baseman. Woodhouse 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Was last up to bat in the last inning. Faced Ryland Rangel, grounded out to him. Rangel able to field his position, a 1-3 ground out. Now Morio has to deal with him. Looked like a good pitch, but called high, 1-0. And Lazaro will go out for a meeting with the sophomore. So the error from John Ramsey, the first-year shortstop, who made an unbelievable play in the at-bat before. Just misses on the throw. It allows Squalls to reach, and then the walk handed out by Morio to the pinch hitter, Asher Thompson. And that's how we have runners at first and second in a 2-run game. Tying run resides on first base, the 7th inning. First game of the year for the Trinity Tigers, the 4th game for Austin College. Slider bends back in for strike. Two down in the inning. The lefty Morio versus the righty. Swing and a miss, foul tipped into Lazara's glove. The count is 2-2. Woodhouse trying to keep this inning alive. We've seen multiple pitchers on each side get out of jams with runners in scoring position. Morio trying to be next on the list. Gets it, strike 3. Fastball down the middle, gets him looking. And one quick yell of excitement from Morio. Now some fist bumps as he heads back to the dugout. He held the fort down. Holds this lead to 2. 4-2 Trinity with the lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Coming up next. Welcome back to the bottom of the 7th at Trinity University Ballpark. The number 3 hitter, Nick Jones, up for the Tigers. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's walked in his last 2 plate appearances, facing Jonas Caballos. Got a 1-2-3 frame in his last time up. Won't get it this time. A single right up the middle for Nick Jones, and it's his first hit as a Trinity Tiger. 3 quick claps back to the dugout in excitement. The transfer student, the junior, has his first hit with the club. And it brings up Nick Lazera, runner on, nobody out for the catcher who hit over 350 last year. One of the leaders of this team. One of the few players who was around. Caballo nearly got Nick Jones there, able to dive back to first base safely. But Lazaro, one of the few players that was around for the Trinity Tigers 2022 World Series run. The last time this program has been to the College World Series. Dives back again. This time not safely. They got him. So another base running error by Trinity. Jones too far of a lead. Caballos, the lefty, able to get him. It was similar to Bain, who Caballos came in relief for, not messing around when throwing the first, and this time they get him. Ground ball. Woodhouse in time. A nice ranging play by the second baseman and 2 away. So in all fairness to Nick Jones, that very well could have been a double play ball if he hadn't gotten nabbed at first, but we'll never know. The wind kicking up a notch here in San Antonio. The mist actually letting up a little bit, still happening, but less as Coney takes strike 1. Coney coming up with nobody on and 2 down, takes a breaking ball inside. Another breaking ball, this time it misses. Coney not offering. Good take by Coney. Now in a 2-ball count. The wind coming in from right field, as it so often does here at Trinity University, and that got too far in on Coney. It hits him. He reaches base for the first time. It extends the inning for Trinity. So Coney, the DH who had struck out in all 3 of his plate appearances, finally reaches base. Does it the hard way, hit by pitch. And it sets up Michael Lustina. Lustina 0 for 1. Fly out to center. He was walked and he's been hit by a pitch in his last 2 plate appearances. Coney over at first, has to dive back. Two down in the inning. The righty Caballos fires strike 1. I believe I said he was a lefty. I thought he was for a second, even though he quite clearly is a righty, only because that throw to get Nick Jones was so good. A lefty would have an easier time making that throw. The Caballos able to spin around and make it as a righty, and that hits Lustina. Back-to-back hit by pitches handed out by Caballos is a strong start. Gets the first 5 batters he faces, but plunks the next 2. And it sets up Kai Tinker, who's already done damage. Tinker 1 for 2, a ground out to short, and a triple. Walked the last time he was up. His 4th plate appearance will come in the bottom of the 7th. A chance to extend the Trinity lead. The graduate student third baseman from Simi Valley, California. Slider catches the zone for strike 1. Unbelievable the amount of break that pitch has. Caballos has leaned on it throughout the night. Making a long relief appearance, trying to account for Tristan Mallory's short start. 3.1 innings pitched. Ground ball to first, and it's fair! Round comes Coney. He will score. Tinker hustling for second, dives in safely. A double for Kai Tinker extends the Trinity lead. It's 5-2. That ball just sneaks fair. It looked like the first baseman, Rayshawn Riley, didn't quite know what to do with it, whether to play it or to let it go foul. He opts to let it go foul, but it never does. Sneaks by him. And Tinker alertly takes the extra base. Coney hustling the whole time from second. Extends the lead 5-2. So it's a multi-extra base hit night for Tinker, a triple and a double. It sets up Maddox McDonald. 1 for 2 today. Takes ball one. McDonald, a double in his first at-bat, then a sacrifice fly. Flew out to right in his last plate appearance. He has a run and an RBI, a chance to collect 2 more with a base hit here. McDonald ropes that into shallow center. It falls. 1 run comes in. Here comes the other. Tinker will score. And Trinity extends its lead. A 2 RBI single from Maddox McDonald makes it 7-2 Tigers. And now a pinch hitter coming in for John Ramsey. It's Brandon Nelson, the senior, making his first plate appearance since last season, a season which was cut short because of torn labrum surgery. Good to see number 25 back out there. I'm sure we'll see him at first base at some point in this series. Works with McDonald on first. In a 7-2 game, a 3-spot put up by Trinity. Breaking ball finds the zone for Caballos, who again started so strong. Retires the first 5 Tigers he faces. Since then, a hit by pitch, a double and a single. All but the last one have come around to score. McDonald able to dive back safely. There is kind of an asterisk to that stat because he did allow Nick Jones to get a base hit, but subsequently erased that with a brilliant throw to first base to catch him napping. Big swing and a miss from Nelson. It's 0-2. But it seems like Trinity's really figured out Caballos, the middle of this order, doing all of the damage. Coney, Lucina, Tinker, all scoring the runs. McDonald driving the last 2 in to make it 7-2. Still only 6 hits on the nights for Trinity. Pitch misses in, 1-2, a good take from Nelson. Brandon Nelson, always a power threat when he comes up to the plate. Had a home run in his first plate appearance last year against the Babson Beavers on opening day. Strong swing, fouls it back into the backstop. McDonald was off and running with that pitch. He has to walk back to first. Nelson drives that to left field, not deep enough. Ramirez under it, makes the catch. And it ends the inning, but some 2-out thunder for the Tigers. 3 runs scored, 4 consecutive reaching. It's 7-2 Trinity as we head to the top of the 8th in San Antonio. Welcome back to Trinity University Ballpark. Brandon Morio back on the mound for the Tigers. He'll work in his second inning, second full inning that is. Face the third baseman, Jack Wilhelm. First pitch misses, ball one. Morio working in what is a long relief appearance. He's gotten out of 2 jams, one of them his own. The one before that was not a situation that he was put into. It's fouled back to the backstop, 1-1. The mist continues here in San Antonio. To put that in perspective, when I lift my microphone, there's usually a drop of water that comes down, as everything is just wet now. Thankfully, no rain. Rain is the enemy of baseball, as we all know. But definitely a mist that is making a lot of things very damp right now. Morio steps off before delivering the 2-1 pitch. I spoke of the conundrum that Brandon Morio has a twin brother, James, and I cannot tell them apart. Probably worse than most people. Fires strike 2, evens the count at 2 apiece. However, they did come up with a solution for me and other teammates, I presume, that were also having issues, as they would wear different color hats. So in the past, Brandon Morio would wear a white hat. Pitch just misses, 3-2. Lazaro wanted the call, looks back at the umpire, but no finger pointing, no punching for strike 3. Line sharply off the bat to Woodward, who makes the catch. 1 down in the inning. Woodward able to secure it, as it'll bring up the catcher, Caden Stegent. Stegen, check that. Stegen 0 for 1, 2 walks in this game. Morio working ahead, 0-1. Pitch misses, 1-1. So Brandon Morio last year would show up to practice wearing a white hat. James Morio would show up wearing a maroon hat. Brandon has since switched to wearing a blue hat, which makes it even easier for me. Pitch is fouled back. Makes it 1-2. But it makes it easier for me because it's blue for Brandon and blue, or B for Brandon and B for blue. So very easy for me to determine who's who now. Got a piece of that. Stegent did. And it's 1-2. As I'm joined now by Reed Rosales. Reed, welcome back. You were calling some basketball games. I haven't seen the scores yet. How did those go?
Well, the women dropped their game against TLU. The men won in big fashion. Got one of the student managers on the court to play. It was really hype.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun. Yeah. I know they beat TLU pretty badly when they went to Seguin by 48. I don't know what the score was this time.
Yeah, it was not as brutal as it was up in Seguin. It was still, the game was over by the first half. It's one of those games.
Well, I'll fill you in on what's happened here so far. Trinity has the 7-2 lead, a 3-run inning put up. A swing and a miss. Morio gets him to offer at it. And there's 2 down in the inning. That breaking ball's been working well for Brandon Morio. He's had a good appearance so far. Things were a little dicey for the most part. Austin College actually struck first, getting the 1-0 lead, but Trinity since then has scored in 3 of their last 4 innings that they've had the bat. 3 runs in the last inning. Lined past the glove of Nick Jones, and it'll go down as a base hit for Ashton Kaysen, the 9-hole hitter, his second hitter tonight. Flips the order over. Isaac Villa, the shortstop, hitting for the 5th time tonight. 0 for 2, a fly out, a ground out. He's also walked twice. He was very close, actually. I forget what you call it when somebody walks 3 times, but he had a 3-ball count.
Pedestrian.
Pedestrian. He was very close to that. Had the 3-ball count, could not finish the job.
It's unfortunate.
Well, he can do it here. We'll see. Morio would not like that. 2 outs, trying to end the frame here. Good start for your pedestrian, 1-0. I got to say, I'm glad to have you out here. It was getting kind of lonely up here. On the roof, all by myself, in the dark. Kind of wet, as you can see now. I'm glad you're here. Strike 1 from Morio.
I'm about to say I put on the wettest headset I've ever seen.
No, I was just telling the people at home, every time I lift my microphone, there's a drop of water without fail. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Might be the coldest opening day in my time here.
See, this is another thing I was telling people. The phone says that it's only 49 degrees, and I don't believe that. It's colder than 49. It has to be. I can see my breath. I don't know if that's the moisture, how the science works. Ground ball to Lustina, and they'll go the short way for out number 3. Brandon Morio's worked 2.2 innings in relief. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Trinity trying to extend their 7-2 lead over Austin College. Welcome back to San Antonio. A new arm in the game for Austin College. It's Cade Rabel, number 52, the first year from Forney, Texas. The right-hand pitcher coming in at the height of 6'1". Pitched 1 inning in relief against UMHB. Allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run. He faces Caleb Woodward. Woodward 0 for 2 today in 4 plate appearances. He's also walked twice. His walks have been quite the theme tonight. Woodward, good stroke into left field, and it falls. So the first hit of the season for Caleb Woodward.
Yeah, that was a tough play out there in left field. It took kind of an odd bounce off the turf. That could have easily gotten by. That's Ramirez out there and been way more damage than it actually was.
So it would seem we have a pinch hitter coming in for Trinity. As this is Will Baker making his Tiger debut, the first year from Missouri City, Texas. And if Baker is a familiar name, that's because it is. The little brother of Jack Baker. Starting shortstop last season, who graduated last year as a senior. Was with the program all 4 years, put in a lot of good seasons for the Tigers. Now his little brother Will, as Woodward able to dive back safely.
Keeping the legacy going in terms of Baker's coming on this Tigers team.
Pitch away. So now the challenge can continue. I challenged Jack last year to hit 12 or 13 home runs. Either one would have worked, so I could call it a Baker's dozen. He looked at me and said, I don't know if that's happening, dude. 12 home runs is a lot. As Baker lines this one to center field, and it falls. Woodward charging in for third. He's safe as the throw is offline. Baker slides into second. And this should go down as a double. Either way, the first hit for Will Baker of his Tigers career.
Yeah, one of the fun things about playing in these conditions is when you're playing on wet turf, it becomes a slip and slide. I think you saw Woodward dive maybe a little earlier than normal, and he still almost overshot third base on the dive.
Another thing to account for, this is the third year the turf has been in place, and you'd think that Trinity pretty much has it figured out at this point. Maybe that's something that the team back in 22 would have had an issue with, oversliding, but this team practiced on it for 3 years. They know what they're doing. So I believe that is still Nick Jones. Yes, it is. Working with runners on second and third. Trinity trying to extend this lead. 2 on, nobody out. The 1-0 count. Inside has to raise the hands to get out of the way. And it's 2-0.
It's good that the turf is here, because if we were still playing on dirt, this game would be a bit miserable on the base paths especially. It's no fun playing in like even lightly wet dirt.
Breaking ball misses 3-0. Conditions supposed to be much better tomorrow. Highs in the 70s. The sun should be out. It did not get the memo that we started playing baseball today and decided to hide, but should be making an appearance tomorrow. Baseball always better when the sun's out, except possibly in July, but that is what it is. Breaking ball bends into the zone. Strike one, a 3-1 count.
I think it's an important tone setter for the year, because last year, the Tiger Bats had struggles hitting team aces, but to get to Austin College's ace, be up by a good amount, force them to go to the bullpen. It shows promise for later on in the year, where the pitching in this conference only gets tougher from here.
Mallory was able to pretty much mow through Trinity in his first 2 innings. The third one, they get to him. They only put up 1 run, but able to chase him from the game in the 4th. Fouled back into the screen. It's still 3-2. Mallory left with 3 earned runs charged to him, so able to get to him in that 4th inning.
It's a good turnout for the crowd, too, given the conditions and everything.
That's what I was saying earlier. The beanies, the blankets, the jackets in full force, but they came out anyways. As this is hit in the air to left field, back towards the wall. It lands right in front of it. The ball rolls into center field. The throw cut off as Nick Jones has a 2 RBI triple, and he is fired up about it. The lead is now 9-2.
How could you not be hyped up about it? That was a good stroke over in to left center. For a moment, it had the trajectory of like maybe it could squeak past the wall, lands in front of it, but now Tigers getting closer and closer to that run rule territory if they keep hitting like they are right now.
As the third ball that's been hit off the wall. Maddox McDonald had one. That was the first hit of the game when hits were not coming easy for Trinity. Kai Tinker had a triple off the wall as well, almost exactly in that same location. And then Nick Jones says, hey, I can do that too. 2 RBI triple, the second triple hit by Trinity in this game, as it warrants a meeting. Still nobody out, 2 runs in. Trinity with the 7-run advantage. The run rule is 10. And Trinity would have the opportunity to walk it off. But they can only do it now. Bottom of the 8th, Nick Lazera up. Lazera 1 for 2. Has a double, and he gets hit by the pitch.
Really wanted to come home to score, has to go back to third base.
Nick Jones got excited there. He's only 90 feet away. He tried to get it right there. Gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Lazera goes to first the hard way. Lazera got hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, and he'll be taken out of the game now. Pinch runner waiting to see a number on that. So when we get the number, we'll be sure to relay that information to you. But Cal Coney coming into the game. Coney reached base for the first time in his last at-bat with a hit by pitch. Still nobody out in this game. Runners at the corners now. Lazara taken out of the game. Coney puts a good stroke into this. Deep right field. Not quite deep enough. Squalls gets it right before the warning track.
A bit scary for Austin College because that was gone. That was the game.
Yes, that would have been a walk-off 3-run homer. Comes up a little short. And it represents the first out of the inning. The run does come to score. Nick Jones tagging from third, making it 10-2. We also have clarification on the pinch runner. It is Jarrett Phillips, the graduate student from Marshall, Texas. Somebody the Tigers bring in frequently to pinch run in different situations. This time, just saving their senior catcher a few miles, or in this case, I guess 90 feet. So back-to-back 3-run innings put up by the Tigers, only one out on the board. Coney with the sacrifice fly. Swing and a miss from another pinch hitter. This is Jack Henning, the first year from Houston, Texas, making his Tiger debut. Reed, I was talking about this earlier, looking at the numbers for this Trinity roster. A large freshman class, 61 total players on the roster. 31 of them are new in some capacity, whether that's by transfer or as a freshman.
It's going to be an interesting year for the Tigers. You know, graduated a lot of guys last year. So a lot of turnaround on the lineup. You know, promising start. Might see a bit of growing pains in this series, but I think the good thing is that, you know, not doing this against like TLU or Concordia or now McMurray, who seems to be really, really good this year in the SCAC.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because that's up next after this weekend. TLU and Concordia both on the road. Not long road trips for these guys, but difficult ones. Two very good teams out there in Seguin and Austin. Pitch misses away to Henning. Makes it 3-1. But that's exactly what Tim Scannell and Dave Smith were saying. They're saying, hey, we think we can be good, but we know that it's probably going to take some time. We're going to have some growing pains. This one is hit deep to right field. Squalls drifting back to the warning track, makes the catch on one knee. And it's the second out of the 8th.
That's an impressive catch because everything out there is slightly more difficult. You can see the haze that is out there. It makes the white baseball sometimes really difficult to see. Catching it from the knee, too, some bonus style points.
And a pinch hitter in for Trinity, or so it seems. We'll wait to see a number. I just wish he would turn one way or the other. And it's Thomas Moss, the first-year catcher, making his Tiger debut. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot if this game continues. Though he is the walk-off run at this point. 2 down in the inning. Moss takes the pitch for a strike.
If they were to walk it off, I'm trying to remember the last time we've had a walk-off here in San Antonio.
I believe I can tell you what that is because I believe that was Brett Jones. Moss hits this one sky high, could be in a tough spot. But the catch is made by Kaysen, taking charge out there in center field. It ends the inning, but Trinity able to tack on 3 more runs. It's 10-2 Tigers on opening night. Top of the 9th coming up next. Welcome back. A new pitcher in for the Tigers. It's Clayton Jackson making his first appearance of the year. Jackson, only 5 appearances last year, an injury-riddled year. Dealt with multiple issues, particularly with his throwing arm. Couldn't make that big of an impact, but starting the year healthy and on the mound in Game 1.
And not quite a save situation, but still nice to see him out there to try and close this one out.
So face a pinch hitter, Scott Hosmer, the senior, and that rides in, and a quick trip to first for Scott Hosmer.
Yeah, that rode in high, too. I kind of flinched up here because those are the scary ones whenever it's above the letters.
Rayshawn Riley will come up next with a runner on first, nobody out. Hosmer being pinch ran for. That's Trip Toms coming in to pinch run for Hosmer. Some defensive replacements, many defensive replacements to note for the Trinity Tigers. It is Max Milligan who takes over in left field. Woodward shifts to right field. Camp Chamness takes over at short with Jack Henning at second base. Nick Jones remains at first. And at third, Grant Anderson making his Tiger debut. Pitch high, similar spot that hit Hosmer. This is outside, ball 1. Jackson trying to collect the final 3 outs. Fires a strike, 1-1. Like to take this chance to remind you that we have a doubleheader coming up tomorrow, finishing out this series between Austin College and Trinity. First pitch will be at 1 p.m. Central Time. Pitch misses low, 2-1. The first pitch of the second game. Following, I believe, 30 minutes after the conclusion of the first one, though those can be dicey at times. So just stay tuned. Keep it on. And then if they start playing ball, you can turn the volume up and listen to us. Grounded foul down the third base line.
Double headers. It's a very Division III baseball thing, I feel.
Yes, that was announced late this week. We were doing a doubleheader. We were supposed to have a game on Sunday. We do not have a game on Sunday. Downside, doubleheader. Upside, you get Sunday off. So some give and take there. Jackson continues to battle against Rayshawn Riley. Now in a 2-2 count. Still nobody out in the inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Foul tip into the glove of the new catcher, Matthias Riding, the one defensive replacement we forgot to mention. And the first strikeout of the season for Clayton Jackson.
Yeah, it's just great fight back. I mean, you hit the first guy, and then the second guy, you have the pitch right up high again to strike him out. That's some good momentum heading into these next potential 2 outs.
Desmond Squalls, the right fielder, remains in the game and has to duck out of the way of that one. And a quick sprint to first, or to second, for Trip Toms. You're thinking for a second, maybe that backstop comes into play, gets into the glove of Riding, but that would have been a tough play to make. He takes second off the wild pitch.
It's very funny when, now that we have the turf, Tyler Pettit, when the first time something like that happened, he's like, that's the first time the backstop has ever been useful. Because on the dirt, the ball would just die there and just stop moving.
This will warrant a meeting. Clayton Jackson and Matthias Riding meeting halfway. Quick exchange of words. Can't tell what they're saying. They're doing a good job covering their mouths with their gloves. Even with my binoculars, I can't get in there. I can't read lips anyways, so not as much use.
No John Boy.
No, I do my best, but no, nobody can be John Boy. There's only one John Boy. So Squalls is ready. A couple wiggles of the bat. The 1-0 from Jackson. Runner on second. It's Toms. Pitch in the dirt. Good block by Riding.
Of course, if you've ever pitched in any sort of wet conditions, it's tough. The ball gets slightly wet. It becomes very erratic when you're throwing it. So I'm sure Jackson's keeping it dry.
Lined into the screen. Would have been right at our heads, but that's why the screen is there. Very good. At least we know it works. That's good.
And we don't have Adam here to catch the ball for us.
No protector. No protector. He was always our defender. Not anymore. Have to defend ourselves now. Squalls lifts this one foul. And hits the metal part of the bell center. It's still hopping. What do you say? 6 hops?
Yeah.
6, yeah.
It hit off the loudest part of the bell center, too. That was.
Yeah. One of those metal rims, metal divider structural things. I'm not an architecture major. I don't know. 2-2 count. 1 out. Fouled up. Riding. Trying to get there. Didn't.
It's a good hustle, though. It's what you want to see out of your catcher, even if it's going to be a really difficult play, especially with how high the net is here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've done that because track and field is right across the way. You can't see it on your screen, but to prevent any fly balls from getting on the football field.
It has happened. That's why they try to avoid hosting track meets and baseball games at the same time, because the occasional adventurous foul ball does make its way over there. Still a 2-2 count. 1 down. Tom's waiting at second. Fouled off again. He'll have to wait longer. Ooh, who made that play?
I think that was Dave.
Dave with the hands. Former pitcher.
He snagged that. That was nice.
He's got hands. Remember at the Winter World Series, he made a play like that, and I nodded at him, and he nodded back. Like, yeah, I did that. Pitch in the dirt. Another good block by Riding, getting a bit of a workout late in this one. Clayton Jackson trying to find his command, trying to find the final 2 outs of this game. There is some action, so we'll see how long the leash is for the senior. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Clayton Jackson. You can tell how happy that dugout is for him.
And now you got the potential final out coming up to the plate for Clayton Jackson, and returning from injury. That'd be one of the great ways to start a season.
To finish this game, he'll have to get Asher Thompson out. Thompson, 1 for 1. First pitch misses away. Some shouts from the Tiger dugout. I don't know what about on that call. That seemed pretty good. The 1-0. In the dirt. You know, one thing, Reed, that we haven't seen come into play at all tonight. There's a little bit of a lip in front of home plate.
I see that.
We were seeing it in practice yesterday. They were throwing some curveballs at it, and it was what happens is that it hits the lip and then it just floats in the air, so it doesn't get back to the backstop. Pretty much a for sure base if you spike one in front of the plate. Down the middle, no finger, no strike. Look pretty good from here. It's 3-0.
Unfortunate, but sometimes you just got to say, oh, that's the call, and get on to the next one.
Of course, we are not right behind home plate, so we don't have the perfect angle, but that did look pretty good from here. That did not ball high. And it's a 4-pitch walk handed out to Thompson. Bring up Mason Woodhouse, the senior from Castle Rock, Colorado, halfway between Colorado Springs and Denver. Famous for the rock it gets its name from and a mall. Fun fact. 2 down in the inning. Runners on first and second. First pitch away. Fastball misses.
Yeah, and some of the erraticness from Clayton Jackson from earlier is causing Austin College to be a bit more patient at the dish.
It's the old adage, you got to earn your swings. Pitch low, 2-0.
He's gotten both his strikeouts swinging, so.
Trinity has the 10-2 lead against Austin College in Game 1, out hitting the Roos 9-4. The Airs are 2-1 in favor of Austin College. That pitch down the middle, strike 1.
The good thing for Jackson is You just got to get a weak grounder because you have outs at pretty much every base.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss. One strike away.
But of course, Jackson, you're ever a pitcher, you want to strike the guy out because that's what feels the best.
Jackson in his first inning of the season after an injury-riddled 2023, trying to strike out the side and bring the Tigers to 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Trinity takes opening day a 10-2 victory over Austin College.
Excellent way to end it. It's always nice to be back here, see them come onto the field after a win. It's been so long. It's finally here, Cole.
Baseball is back. Hopefully the baseball weather will be supposed to be tomorrow. Hopefully that holds up. Trinity goes to 1-0 overall and in conference. That's something I never thought I would say. With a 10-2 victory over Austin College, as we said earlier, games 2 and 3 happening tomorrow. First pitch of game 2 at 1 p.m. Central Time. Be sure to tune in to that one. But for Cole Isaacson, for everybody in the control room, and for Reed Rosales for 2.5 innings, I'll give you credit for that. We're saying so long from San Antonio. Trinity gets the win.